Good afternoon, and welcome to the 42nd commencement ceremony of the Carlson College of Veterinary Medicine at Oregon State University. My name is Sue Tornquist, and as Dean of the College, it is my privilege to introduce the members of the platform party and to express our sincere appreciation for their participation in our ceremony today. Distinguished members, please stand when introduced, and audience, please hold your applause until all platform members have been introduced. Dr. Jayathi Murthy, President of Oregon State University. Dr. Joe Klopfenstein, Associate Dean for Student Success. Dr. Bill Whitler, Keynote Speaker. Dr. Chuck Estel, Keynote Speaker. Dr. Charles Hurdy, President of the Oregon Veterinary Medical Association. Dr. Chris Sebra, Chair of the Department of Clinical Sciences. Dr. Stacy Semavolis, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Graduate Programs. Dr. Helio DeMarais, Director of the Lois Bates Atchison Veterinary Teaching Hospital. Thank you all for being a part. Thank you all for being here to be part of this important event. I would also like to introduce 4 faculty members who have been elected by the class of 2024 to perform important roles during today's ceremony. Our marshals are Dr. Andy Claude, Associate Clinical Professor of Anesthesiology, and Dr. Brian Hardy, Assistant Clinical Professor of Small Animal Internal Medicine. There they are. Our hooders are Dr. Ingrid Balsa, Associate Professor of Small Animal Surgery, and Dr. Bob McCarthy, Large Animal Surgery Resident. The faculty, staff, and house officers have played an invaluable role in the academic lives of our students. And at this time, I would like to ask faculty members, house officers, and staff to stand to be recognized. Maybe we can bring the lights up a little bit for this, because next I would like to recognize family members and friends who have made this event possible. Parents and guardians, your financial support, your wise counsel, and encouragement have been invaluable. Could parents, guardians, and grandparents please stand to be recognized? Thank you for all you've done for this class of 2024. Spouses, significant others, and children, we all recognize that the DVM program is very demanding and this places a heavy burden on family life. Thank you for your understanding, patience, and emotional support of our graduates. Immediate family members, please stand to be recognized. Finally, could all the other friends and family members and mentors please stand to be recognized for the important contributions that you have made to the education of our graduates? Everyone who hasn't stood. Thank you all for your contribution to this process. Since this is also a special day for dads, anyone who has a dad or is a dad, happy Father's Day. You don't need to stand up. So after 28 years of these graduations, I felt like I was immune from tearing up at watching the graduates come in, but it still really, really affects me. And class of 2024, I personally want to graduate you and thank you for your strength, your patience, and your resilience as a class who needed these attributes more than maybe any other class. As we made our way through learning how to teach and train veterinarians during a pandemic, we all needed those attributes, and this class had them and made it through and have become excellent veterinarians. I certainly hope we never have to do that again, but we learned a lot of lessons from learning how to train and teach during a pandemic. Socially distanced ClinPath with masks on during lab was kind of a challenge, but I think you learned a lot. I'm confident in your skills, and I think you will do fine. So we made it work. Thank you, and kudos to all of you. I am honored to introduce our next speaker, Oregon State University President, Dr. Jayathy Murthy. Dr. Murthy is a national leader in higher education, engineering, teaching, research, and service, and she began her service as Oregon State University's 16th president on September 9th, 2022. As OSU's president, President Murthy is committed to improving access to college for all learners, advancing student success, undergraduate graduation rates, and inclusive excellence throughout the university. Also expanding OSU's strong research portfolio by investing in research infrastructure and supporting faculty excellence in teaching, scholarship, research, and extension and engagement programs. Prior to joining Oregon State, President Murthy served as the first woman dean of the UCLA Henry Samueli School of Engineering and Applied Science since January 2016. She also served as chair of the Mechanical Engineering Department at the University of Texas at Austin from 2012 to 2015, worked as a mechanical engineering professor at Purdue University from 2001 to 2011, and was a professor of mechanical engineering at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh from 1998 to 2001. She began her academic career at Arizona State University in 1984, and from 1988 to 98, she worked at New Hampshire-based Fluent Incorporated, a developer and vendor of the world's most widely used computational fluid dynamics software. So if we have any glitches today, I think we know who to ask. She received her doctorate in mechanical engineering from the University of Minnesota, a master's degree in mechanical engineering from Washington State University, and a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, where she was named a distinguished alumna in 2012. So we're very happy to welcome Dr. Murthy to the ceremony. So happy she could celebrate with us this day, and look forward to hearing her remarks. Thank you, President Murthy.
Thank you, Dean Tonquist. If there's anything that makes you feel old, it's surely that long biographical recitation. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm so very pleased to see you all this morning. Welcome, honored guests. These celebrations are easily my favorite events of the year. Together with your families, your friends, colleagues, mentors, we celebrate your perseverance, your strength, and your transition from student to graduate. Nothing is of more importance to us, teachers, students, and in fact, as a university, it's why we're here. You've overcome obstacles, faced challenges, and created opportunities as you pursued your ambitions and goals for yourselves and for your families. Yours are journeys of encouragement, opportunity, and advancement, and these are stories we want for all who come to Oregon State. This is the 42nd commencement ceremony for the Carlson College of Veterinary Medicine at Oregon State University. I commend you all for persistence and resilience as you completed a rigorous program over the course of your years at OSU. This accomplishment not only allows you to move on towards your professional goals, it also lives inside you, serving as a source of strength no matter what the road ahead brings. Because of your commitment to excellence, the college has continued to provide care to patients of all shapes, sizes, and species, and compassion to the people who love them. Your dedicated service at the Louis Bates Atchison Veterinary Teaching Hospital as you begin clinical practice during this final year of your education will not be forgotten, neither by those whose animals you cared for, nor by the faculty and staff with whom you worked and learned from. In fact, I ask you to consider those you learned from and those who supported you, your families, your teachers, staff, patients, and your mentors. Think of all of those who saw you through, who pushed you to turn pain and frustration into growth and achievement. Their support is invaluable. Thank them, appreciate them. Most importantly, follow their lead and guide others as they guided you. And as you do so, I invite you to stay engaged with us, mentor OSU students, coach alumni, be a positive force propelling others to moments like this. You represent our future for society, for our state, and for our university. You may have finished your degrees, but you're not done pursuing excellence. Your graduation marks the start of a new path to important and fulfilling work as veterinarians, to living a life of impact and connection. Never stop growing as people, as caregivers, as community members. This is your challenge. Those first steps in practice may not be easy, but you can rest assured you're not embarking on your journey alone. Supporting you are the same family and friends and colleagues and classmates you thought of earlier. We will prod you, we will encourage you, and we will remind you to persevere. And we will be there for you. OSU and Beaver Nation will be there for you. So live deeply, live passionately, live well. Congratulations. And I want to welcome Dean Tonquist back to the stage.
Thank you, President Murthy. We are fortunate to have as our keynote speakers today Dr. Bill Whitler and Dr. Chuck Estel. Doctors Whitler and Estel are both members of our reproductive medicine service. Dr. Whitler is an associate professor of theriogenology at the college. He graduated from the University of Florida College of Veterinary Medicine in 1985. He then practiced in Pennsylvania, Florida, and Oregon before completing a large animal clinical fellowship at our College of Veterinary Medicine. Dr. Whitler stayed on at OSU in the large animal ambulatory service, becoming ABVP certified in equine practice in 1993. Family responsibilities took him back to Florida in 1999, and he passed the ACT, that's American College of Theriogenology boards, while in a large animal ambulatory private practice in North Florida. After more years in mixed practice, he purchased a large animal ambulatory practice in Sarasota, Florida, and returned to Oregon in 2016. At that time, Dr. Whitler began his current faculty position at Oregon State, teaching theriogenology and providing clinical services to all species, small and large. Elected to the board of directors of the Society of Theriogenology in 2018, he continued on the board, eventually becoming president in 2022. Dr. Whitler's passions include clinical teaching and infertility in horses and dogs. Personal passions include most things outdoors. Snow skiing and scuba diving have become less commonplace with age, but have been replaced with fishing and crabbing along the Oregon coast and anywhere else with water. Dr. Chuck Estel is a professor of theriogenology at the college. He is the CCVM dinosaur. These are his own words. I didn't say that. He did. To fulfill his lifelong dream of becoming a veterinarian, he graduated from University of Pennsylvania in 1976. Following a brief stint in small animal practice, he completed a rotating internship in food animal and equine practice at the University of Georgia. He then entered a mixed practice as an associate veterinarian in rural North Carolina, and within a year became the practice owner. 10 years later, he began a residency and graduate program at North Carolina State University's College of Vet Med and became a board-certified theriogenologist in 1990 and was awarded a PhD in 1993. He became a faculty member at Mississippi State University and remained there for 10 years before coming west to join the OSU Carlson College of Veterinary Medicine faculty in 2002 as part of the Rural Veterinary Practice Service. So in response to the class of 2024's request for entertaining and knowledgeable graduation speakers, I'd like to welcome Drs. Whitler and Estill to the podium.
Good morning.
He's older, so he goes first.
Was that age before beauty?
Yes.
Yes, okay, agreed. So anyway, good morning, and just our thanks to the class of 2024 for selecting us to be your keynote graduation speaker. We truly are honored. So first things first, and this is not on the test, because many in the audience have never heard this odd word, theriogenology. So I'm going to give you a little primer on the origin. So theriogenology is a composite of three Greek words. Therio means beast or animal. Gen or genesis means origins of or reproduction. And you're probably aware that ology means the study of. So theriogenology is the study of the origin of a beast or animals and reproduction. So now you are well educated, and you won't have to give us the deer in the headlights look when we use that strange word. So a professor is supposed to be unbiased and not have favorite students. Well, I've broken that rule, and in the class of 2024, I have some favorite students. And my address to you is mainly to my favorite students. So, class of 2024, if you know you are one of my favorite students, please signify by raising your hand. You are all my favorite students. We love you. Did everybody notice what they held up? It was an obstetrical sleeve. So this is a big day, huh? Your lives will be forever changed. Medicine is complex and constantly changing. And you're going to need to draw on what I have termed your adaptive capacity. And so what is that? It's adjusting to new surroundings to take advantage of opportunities or to respond to consequences. And that is going to be the theme of my talk as Dr. Whitler and I tag team back and forth for the next 20 minutes or so. So let me tell you about a day many moons ago when my life took a 90-degree turn. As Dr. Tornquist mentioned, I was in practice in North Carolina, and I had the privilege of living on a beautiful lake. I mean, lakefront, dock, boat, looking across to a state park. It was quite idyllic. So one day I finished my calls early. It was autumn and it was warm. It was North Carolina, and I came home and thought, I'm the only one home. I'm going to get some chores done. So I went down by the lakefront and cranked up the weed eater, and I was weed eating along. And it was a steep bank and a lot of rocky debris there. And I was in shorts and a t-shirt, and I was weeding. I felt all these little sharp things hitting my ankles, and I thought, well, the weed eater is kicking up the little rocks and they're stinging me. Well, it wasn't rocks, it was those ground bees, you know, those nasty, voracious critters that live in the hole in the ground. Well, I did the logical thing. I put down the weed eater rather quickly, and I jumped in the lake. So after a suitable period of time for the ground bees to recoup and go back down in the hole where they belonged, I walked up to the house, and just as I arrived at the house, my wife had gotten back from a doctor's appointment. She didn't say a word to me. She held up a little ultrasonogram image, and there were 2 black holes in it. Now, this was 1987, and I was not accustomed to looking at ultrasonographic images, but I recognized pretty quickly that those two holes are now Ben and Brian, my 37-year-old sons. So the next thing, as my heartbeat slowed down to about 150 a minute, and my wife continued to look at me dripping wet without saying a word, but she was accustomed to my rather bizarre behavior, the phone rang. Again, 1987, landline, no caller ID. Picked up the phone, and it was the theriogenologist from North Carolina State University offering me a position as a resident in theriogenology. And I had applied to various ones in the past, but none of them worked out. So this was really a dream of a lifetime. And so I had a little chat with the boss, who agreed that it would be okay to sell my practice, move up to Raleigh, and pursue a residency in theriogenology. Well, I sold my practice and moved to academia, and I learned a little bit about academia, so I had to use my adaptive capacity. I learned that in academia, everything happens at a snail's pace. If you want to buy a bottle of penicillin, it takes an act of Congress and a note from your mother to get it purchased. And then there was this new computer thing called Windows. Oh my gosh, I was used to putting in floppy disk and looking at the green screen. So that was new. And the need to adapt has pushed me out of my comfort zone on a regular basis ever since. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Whitler, and I'll be back shortly.
So I don't know what it says about the class when they vote two people who teach animal reproduction to be their keynote speakers. First, I thought it was a joke, but then when it sank in, I realized, like Dr. Estel, truly honored. And I do consider it one of the highest points of my career, but admittedly, my career bar is pretty low compared to most of the people on this stage. And I suspect Dr. Tornquist has been a little worried about what we might say. So to relieve her, I am wearing my dog's electronic collar. Dr. Strickland has the remote. That's my resident. If she thinks I might be about to say something that's not G-rated, she's probably going to give me a gentle reminder to tone it down. Commencement addresses are supposed to be to give you life advice, and when Dr. Estel's done with his next section, I'm going to continue and basically give you life advice through the eyes of a theriogenologist. And when I'm done, you probably are going to have to explain a few things to your family and friends.
Anybody ever heard of these two amigos from the early 1800s named Meriwether Lewis and William Clark? Sure you did. Well, they took a little camping trip. It was called the Journey of Discovery. It was commissioned by then President Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to call him TJ from here on out. Kind of intimate, you know. The mission was to find a water route to connect the Mississippi River through the Missouri River to the beautiful Pacific Ocean. And then along that route to describe the flora and the fauna, and also indicate the propensities and the characteristics of the indigenous people that they might meet along the way. Well, no white man had ever explored the territory, and maps at the time were nothing more than guesses. So referring to Meriwether Lewis, he dipped his hands into the icy water, took a long, cool drink. Years of preparation. Actually, Thomas Jefferson mentored him for 3 or 4 years as his personal assistant to prepare him for this journey. 15 months of hard travel, endless slogging upstream led to this moment. He recalled all that he endured, nervous nights in a strange land, mosquitoes galore, grizzly bears, cold, a month-long portage around a waterfall, even the death of a companion. Kind of sounds like vet school. But here he was. For 300 years, explorers from 4 different nations tried to find a water route to connect the Mississippi River to the Pacific Ocean. TJ believed that finding that route would ensure the young nation's prosperity, enabling trade between Europe, North America, and the Orient. The expedition had reached the source of the mighty Missouri River on a quest to find that river route to the Pacific. He thought the most challenging obstacles of his journey were behind him. He was about to realize the dream of centuries of explorers and the ambition of his president. It would be like owning the internet today. Pretty big deal. Lewis thought it would take half a day to climb a small hill, portage their canoes, and then look down a gentle slope to the Columbia River where the current would swiftly carry them to the Pacific Ocean. You all know that is not the case. What he discovered from the crest of Lemhi Pass, which is on the Idaho-Montana border, was the Rocky Mountains, stretching west with snow-covered peaks as far as the eye could see. There was no Northwest Passage. The maiden Indians told Lewis and Clark that the mountains had to be crossed, but Lewis and Clark imagined gentle mountains like the Appalachians they were accustomed to in the east. They had no idea what lay ahead. They went off the map into uncharted territory, just as you are doing today. They had to change plans. Canoes were worthless. What lay ahead was nothing like what lay behind. Going home was not an option. There were no maps, no guides, no best practices. To go forward, they had to change. They had to adapt. What had brought them to this point would not take them any farther. They had to go from being river rats to mountain climbers. They ditched the canoes. They negotiated with the indigenous people with the help of Sacagawea as a translator. They traded rifles for horses to cross the mountains. That's when everything changed. Your life will change today, and it won't be the last time for change.
So in the beginning of vet school, you probably felt like the first time you palpated a cow. You had to get past a lot of manure before you finally found a fetus, a baby, a calf, a membrane slip, or an ovary. So as you leave here, I want you to set your goals high, but not too high, because goals are kind of like scrotal circumference, okay? Bigger, younger is better, but don't forget about abscesses and hernias. And sometimes it seems like you won't reach your goals. It's kind of like a follicular wave. You think ovulation is going to occur, and then the follicle regresses, and you're left wondering what happened here. But don't get discouraged, because even after you verify ovulation, obtain a complete collection, put the right stuff in the right place at the right time, you still have to achieve fertilization, avoid teratogens, infectious agents, and monitor the pregnancy. But as many of your supportive family and friends in the audience will attest to, it doesn't end there. You have to deliver the fetus, confirm passive transfer of immunoglobulins, and make sure it's nursing and growing. And you may find yourself on a windy road, kind of like a sigmoid flexure, okay? But don't get discouraged. Enjoy the path, enjoy the scenery. But if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, like a clogged oviduct or an enlarged prostate, don't be afraid to ask for help. Family, friends, and of course, faculty have your back. And always analyze your successes as well as your failures. And believe me, you will make failures. But don't be afraid of failure. Tackle it head on, just like collecting a stallion. And always analyze your failures deeply. Just because the motility looks good doesn't mean the morphology is. So don't just look at it under low power. And once you've analyzed it, if short of knowing the future wouldn't have changed what you did, let it go and move on. In those circumstances, you might as well have saved 4 years and a lot of money and just used the magic 8-ball to make those decisions. And trust me, there is an app for that. Always question authority. Just because we think it's true doesn't mean it is. We might have learned it one way, and now it's changed. And medicine is a constantly changing field. So keep current with the literature. Listen to the client, but never believe them. Most of them don't intentionally mean to mislead you, but you will get historical bias if you're just focused on what they told you. Now it's Dr. Estes' turn.
That's a tough act to follow. So you're in charge of what happens next. The hard work doesn't stop today. There's much to learn, new skills to acquire. Much of what you know and what you can do today will be obsolete in the future. So be ready to adapt. For example, when I graduated in 1976, equine dentistry was in its infancy. I had 2 floats, a straight float and an angled float, and sometimes I used a screwdriver and a hammer to knock those caps off. Imagine what equine dentistry is like compared to that dinosaur type of practice that I began in. Well, I didn't adapt. I don't do dentistry now because I spent the next 35 years at the south end of the horse. But you will need to adapt. Most of you will be scared your first day as a real veterinarian. Just a clue, that never really goes away. But you'll push forward even when you're scared. You'll learn from your mistakes. Reminds me of my first neuro exam in vet school. I got 36% correct. There were so many new words: rubrospinal, thalamospinal, afferent, efferent. I thought the professors just wanted us to kind of have heard those words, maybe be familiar with them, not actually understand or know them. Well, I was wrong. I had to adapt. I had to adapt my study habits. So you'll continue to cultivate your quest to learn, to heal, to support, to mentor, and adapt to a changing veterinary landscape. During my career, animals have moved from the barnyard to the backyard, to the living room, to the bedroom, to under the covers. We now appreciate the human-animal bond so much more so than we did when this dinosaur graduated from vet school. We as a profession have adapted and will have to continue to adapt. So what did Lewis and Clark need? What will you need? Adaptive capacity. You will need to let go, learn as you go, and keep going no matter what. Will you be a river rat or a mountain climber? I think I know the answer, and I'm going to sit back in my porch rocker and watch it happen.
So no matter the diagnostic test, always listen to the patient first. Animals love to prove veterinarians wrong. And some of you have heard some of these before, but I'm just going to remind you, never have a Friday or a Saturday be the last day of antibiotics or analgesics. Which brings up work-life balance. Remember, a hobby by definition is a waste of money. If you made money at it, it would be work. But veterinary medicine is still a business, okay? When dealing with clients who are production species based, your goal is to improve their bottom line. But don't think of it so much as the charge, but the value. I've given some of you my philosophy on value, but if I said it here, I would be at risk of Dr. Strickland giving me a gentle reminder. So if you haven't heard it, speak to me privately, and I'll be happy to share it. You also don't have to feel guilty about having interests outside of veterinary medicine and spending money on them. And in closing, on this Father's Day, happy Father's Day, as a 5-year, cancer survivor, those of you with a prostate, make sure you pay attention to it. And I know you all remember the 3 pillars of male fertility. I know we have taught you the goods to deliver. I know all of you have the ability to deliver those goods. So my challenge is for you to maintain your libido and have the willingness and desire to deliver those goods. Live long and prosper.
Thank you, Doctors Whitler and Estelle. I have to say that greatly exceeded my expectation. And now I'm going to picture you all out on the sigmoid flexure pathway. I'll never get that image out of my mind. We will now present the class of 2024.
Thank you, Dean Tornquist. Will the 42nd class to graduate from the Carlson College of Veterinary Medicine at Oregon State University please stand? President Murthy, the students in the class of 2024 have successfully completed the requirements for the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree, and they have been approved by the faculty. On behalf of the faculty, we recommend them for the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine.
Upon the recommendation of the Dean of the Carlson College of Veterinary Medicine, approved by the Faculty Senate, and by the authority of the Oregon State University Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine according to the requirements completed with all of the appropriate responsibilities, privileges, and honors. In witness whereof, you will be presented with your diploma and you will be vested with the appropriate hood.
Graduates, you may move your tassels from right to left. Please be seated. Hooders and marshals, please prepare for the hooding of the candidates. Students wearing gold cords have been recognized for their outstanding scholarship and have been admitted into the National Honor Society of Phi Zeta. We congratulate them on this achievement. I got to say, on a personal level, it's just a wonderful honor for me to welcome these new colleagues to this wonderful and rewarding profession. Like Dean Tornquist, I tend to wear my emotions on my sleeve. Dr. Sierra Amundsen. Dr. Amundsen will be working as an associate veterinarian at a rural mixed practice in Laramie, Wyoming. Dr. Kayla Ashland. Dr. Ashland will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in a hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. Dr. Masha Aksanov. Dr. Aksanov will be working as a small animal emergency and exotics hospital in Eugene, Oregon. Dr. Madison Barrett. Dr. Barrett will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian. Dr. Jordan Mackenzie Bateman. Dr. Bateman will be working as an associate mixed animal veterinarian at a clinic in Nampa, Idaho. Dr. Jenna Rose Bilby. Dr. Bilby will be working in general practice at a clinic in the Willamette Valley. Dr. Lane Bew. Dr. Bew will be working as an associate mixed animal veterinarian at a hospital in Edgewood, New Mexico. Dr. Kira Blackstead Pimental. Dr. Blackstead Pimentel is working on staying in Western Oregon and working as a mixed animal veterinarian. Dr. Danielle Alexis Kakdak. Dr. Kakdak will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in a clinic in the Portland area. Dr. Molly Cocano. Dr. Cocano will be working as a small animal associate veterinarian in the Portland metro area. Dr. Samantha Castle. Dr. Castle will be hooded by her father, Dr. Greg Castle. Dr. Castle will be working as a small animal veterinarian at a clinic in Portland, Oregon. Dr. Madison Cates. Dr. Cates will be working as a small animal general practitioner in Almsville, Oregon. Dr. Katrina Colwell. Dr. Colwell will be working in a mixed animal associate veterinarian at a mobile practice in Philomath, Oregon. Dr. Chad Christopher Cooper. Dr. Cooper will be working as an associate mixed animal veterinarian at a local clinic in Albany, Oregon. Dr. Courtney Nicole Craig. Dr. Craig will be working at a surgical and ER internship at a small animal hospital in Scottsdale, Arizona. Dr. Clarissa Crothall. Dr. Crothall will be working in a small animal multi-hospital practice in Leavenworth, Washington. Dr. Allison Dooley. Dr. Dooley will be working at a small animal general practice. Dr. Sarah Mae Duke. Dr. Duke wasn't able to join us, so she sent her colleague, Dr. Flat Stanley. Dr. Duke will be in a small animal, is actually at a small animal rotating intern at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, pursuing a small animal surgery residency after her internship. I can assure you the real Dr. Duke has much more personality than her. Dr. Delaney Eaton. Dr. Eaton will be working as a GP, small animal veterinarian in the Pacific Northwest, and pursuing rehabilitation certifications. Dr. Emily Eckhart. Dr. Eckhart will be working as a mixed animal general practitioner with a focus on mobile practice. Dr. Bryn Fitzclement. Dr. Fitzclement will be working as a small animal veterinarian in Eugene, Oregon. Dr. Cameron Mackenzie Flint. Dr. Flint will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian at Mercer Island Veterinary Clinic in Mercer Island, Washington. Dr. Tasman Flora. Dr. Flora will be working as a small animal veterinarian with a special focus on behavior at a clinic in Oregon. Dr. Nicole G. Dr. G will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in the Denver, Colorado area. Dr. Morgan Faye Jensko. Dr. Jensko will be working as an associate mixed animal veterinarian at Western Slope Animal Hospital in Olathe, Colorado. Dr. Brittany Graham. Dr. Graham will be working as an associate veterinarian who sees all exotic species. Dr. Kara Heddick. Dr. Heddick will be working as an associate at a small animal emergency hospital in Springfield, Oregon. Dr. Serena Hopkins. Dr. Hopkins will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in Fort Mojave, Arizona. Dr. Robin Barry Hosking. Dr. Hosking will be moving to Avondale, Arizona to work as a small animal GP and volunteering in the hospital at Liberty Wildlife in Phoenix. Dr. Peyton Hunt. Dr. Hunt will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in a clinic in Corvallis, Oregon. Dr. Gabriela Alejandra Ibarra Zarate. Dr. Ibarra Zarate will be working as a small animal veterinarian for Banfield in San Bernardino, California. Dr. Mackenzie Jansen. Dr. Jansen will be starting a small animal rotating internship at Cornell University after graduation. Dr. Madison Jansen. Dr. Jansen will be doing a small animal rotating internship at Tufts University in Grafton, Massachusetts. Dr. Cham Johnston. Dr. Johnston was not able to be with us. He's working as an associate veterinarian in small animal medicine and an associate veterinarian in equine medicine, both in Tucson, Arizona. Dr. Eileen G. Jordan. Dr. Jordan is pursuing a small animal rotating internship at West Vet in Boise, Idaho. Dr. Ashley Jordan. Dr. Jordan will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in Sacramento, California. Dr. Katie Juarez. Dr. Juarez has accepted an equine internship to associate position in Santa Rosa, California. Dr. Taylor Ann Kim. Dr. Kim will be beginning a small animal rotating internship at VCA Northwest veterinary specialists in Clackamas, Oregon. Dr. Alexis Knight. Dr. Knight will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in a clinic near Hubbard, Oregon. Dr. Madeline Kriskovich. Dr. Kriskovich will be working as a mixed animal veterinarian in Oregon. Dr. Dawn Kulkarni. Dr. Kulkarni will be starting a small animal rotating internship at Angel Animal Medical Center in Boston, Massachusetts. Dr. Connor Marcel LaLiberte. Dr. LaLiberte will be working as an intern at an equine practice in Weatherford, Texas. Dr. Susanna Joy Laws. Dr. Laws will be working as an associate at a mixed practice in Dallas, Oregon. Dr. Peter William Liddell. Dr. Liddell will be starting a large animal ambulatory practice in Central Oregon. Dr. Angela Z. Yuet Liu. Dr. Liu will be working at Banfield, Sacramento. Dr. Shelby Matsuoka. Dr. Matsuoka will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in a clinic in Eugene, Oregon. Happy to include pocket pets and exotics too. Dr. Shoshana McCleary. Dr. McCleary will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in Oregon. Dr. Miranda Michalansky. Dr. Michalansky will be completing a small animal rotating internship at VCA Northwest Veterinary Specialists. Dr. Diamond T. Nguyen. Dr. Nguyen will be completing a small animal and exotics internship in Vancouver, Canada. Dr. Nazila Nouri. Dr. Nouri will be working as a general animal veterinarian in Los Angeles, California. Dr. Christy Peterson. Dr. Peterson will be working as a mixed animal general practitioner in the Willamette Valley. Dr. Morgan Marie Potton Yoder. Dr. Potton Yoder will be working as an associate mixed animal veterinarian in rural Montana. Dr. Katie Reamy. Dr. Reamy will be hooded by her husband, Dr. John Reamy. Dr. Reamy will be working part-time at a small animal hospital, part-time at a mixed animal ambulatory practice. Dr. Sarah Robinson. Dr. Robinson will be working as a small animal veterinarian in Seattle, Washington. Dr. Jessica Rosewitz. Dr. Rosewitz will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in a clinic in Berkeley, California. Dr. Olivia Roth Carter. Dr. Roth Carter will be working as an associate small animal emergency veterinarian at a clinic in Portland, Oregon. Dr. Becca Ruiz. Dr. Ruiz will be working as an associate in a small animal emergency hospital in her hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dr. Kelsey Ryan. Dr. Ryan will be working as an associate veterinarian for a small animal hospital in Bend, Oregon. Dr. Victoria Ryan. Dr. Ryan will be working as a small animal veterinarian at an emergency and specialty center in Southern California. Dr. Nicole Sipple. Dr. Sipple will be working as a small animal rotating intern at North Carolina State University. Dr. Brian J. Stabler-Sywell. Dr. Stabler-Sywell will be working at a rural mixed animal practice. Dr. Mackenzie Stager. Dr. Stager will be working as a mixed animal associate veterinarian at Parkway Animal Hospital in Roseburg, Oregon. She plans to pursue a residency in theriogenology, now you know what that means, after gaining some experience in general practice, and has a main interest in conservation and zoo reproduction. Dr. Sarah Strack. Dr. Strack will be doing a rotating small animal internship at Veterinary Referral Center of Central Oregon in Bend, Oregon. After that, she hopes to pursue a small animal surgery specialty internship and residency as her ultimate goal is to become a board-certified small animal surgeon. Dr. Danielle Schweitzer. Dr. Schweitzer will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in Corvallis or the surrounding area. Dr. Maddie Turley. Dr. Turley will be working as an associate at a small animal practice in North Carolina. Dr. Morgan Elizabeth Vidker. Dr. Vidker will be working as an associate small animal and exotics veterinarian in Corvallis and Salem, Oregon. Dr. Brooklyn Walker Schott. Dr. Walker Schott will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in southeastern Idaho. Dr. Robert Cameron Wilrich. Dr. Wilrich will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian for Banfield Pet Hospital in Whittier and Fullerton, California. Dr. Heather Woodruff. Dr. Woodruff will be working as an associate small animal veterinarian in a clinic in Sandy, Oregon. Dr. Mina Yamini. Dr. Yamini will be a lab animal medicine resident at MIT at Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Thank you, Hooders, and congratulations, everyone. The members of the veterinary profession subscribe to an oath. We have invited Dr. Charles Hurdy, President of the Oregon Veterinary Medical Association, to administer the veterinarian's oath to the class of 2024. Dr. Hurdy?
Good afternoon. We'll get to the oath in just a moment. I know you guys are anxious for it. But first, I want to express profound gratitude for giving me this opportunity to celebrate with you all on this beautiful day. It truly is a beautiful day, and thank you so much for having me. I have been granted the honor of administering the veterinarian's oath to the Oregon State University Carlson College of Veterinary Medicine class of 2024. I know a few of these graduates, and I'm going to be asking for some audience participation, and I will keep this brief. I will keep it brief. That's what my instructions are. I do have a couple words of optimism and just a few words of advice for the class. But a quick story about my daughter. She just graduated from high school, and I felt like I should come up with something to say that would offer you, a push forward into the future. And so I asked her for some advice, and she said, "Talk about Taylor Swift." Okay, and celebrate. I can do that. I'm a pretty good person for celebrations, and I love Taylor Swift. It's something that, she's somebody that's connected me to my family and my daughter. And so we talked about it for a little bit, and I said, okay, challenge accepted. So hopefully we have a few Taylor Swift folks in the room, and just hold on for it. It's coming, the reference. So just a quick public service announcement for veterinary medical associations. As a veterinarian that has contributed to organized veterinary medicine for a few years, I actually implore the class of 2024 to engage your national, state, and local VMAs. Your voice, more than ever, is needed in this veterinary ecosystem that you enter. We find ourselves right now in a paradigm-shifting period of time, a moment. It's exciting, and it's an important time. A lot of things are changing in our field, and your VMAs, they need your voice, they need your time and your talent, and the opportunity is simple. Be heard, influence positive change, and create that future that you want. Please keep that on your to-do checklist. And it sounds like everybody's already kind of negotiated their contracts, but I hope that you argued for inclusion of your VMA dues in those contracts. I eagerly await to see where you guide our future profession. The next order of business, I have been a small animal practitioner for 22 years and have worked in the veterinary industry for more than 30. That blows me away. And I work in a very busy practice on the beautiful Central Oregon coast, and like everyone else, I am accepting resumes at all times. So find me after graduation. I saw somebody over there. Anyway, so I'm hoping that this next comment garners a little bit of applause, hint, hint. So I have worked with many early career veterinarians and veterinary students. We invite them to our practice and over the last couple of decades. And I can honestly say that the veterinarians that graduate from Oregon State from this program are hands down the most prepared, the hardest working, and the most curiosity-driven group of early career veterinarians that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. And this is a testament not only to you, but those who have supported you and taught you throughout these years, and those who have built this program into what it is. And I would like, just like our dean did earlier, I want one more time to just applaud those who have supported and championed this incredible class, who have dealt with some amazing challenges and obstacles over the last 4 years. So thank you to the parents, families, partners, spouses, siblings, teachers, fur babies, pets, companion animals, veterinary professionals, and organizations that have been here for this group. So thank you. And hold that thought, because I know there's a lot of loud people in here, and I know that you guys are just bubbling with anticipation for this to be concluded. But I would like to do something for the graduates. It's a gift that I think we all can give them. And hold with me, there is a purpose behind this request. But I'd like the graduates in the next several moments to just listen and soak up what you're about to experience. And for everybody in the crowd, could you just get loud and make some noise for this group? Let's do it. That was better than I thought. Awesome. So thank you so much for doing that. And I ask that our new veterinarians remember that sound, that unconditional support and love. That's what was resonating in that noise. That is the sound of achievement and probably most importantly, belonging. You made it. You belong here. And in the next chapter that you all are taking, you belong where you're headed. You've earned your right to join this profession. One last item. Here's the Taylor Swift moment. As you move forward in your life and careers, my advice to you is, like Taylor Swift, possess a healthy balance of two very important characteristics: confidence and productive uncertainty. That is exactly what, if you're a fan of Taylor Swift, you know that she is up there in a very confident way in doing what she does. But within all of those lyrics and all of the show, there is a level of vulnerability and uncertainty. And I think that's why we all identify so clearly with her. It is in, well, I do. Oh, that uncertainty drives you. It is in that sweet space between confidence and uncertainty that we can truly dedicate ourselves and our lives to learning, empathy, love, and good old-fashioned grit. Though your confidence may waver at times, allow it to sustain you and keep you in the game. Your uncertainty should be embraced as it challenges you to learn more. Your confidence drives you to keep asking the questions and to speak up. And once again, your uncertainty is actually your curiosity and a desire for more knowledge and skills. You now hold a degree that is essentially an invitation to confident curiosity. Will the class of 2024 please stand and repeat after me? Being admitted to the profession of veterinary medicine I solemnly swear to use my scientific knowledge and skills for the benefit of society. Through the protection of animal health and welfare, the prevention and relief of animal suffering, the conservation of animal resources, the promotion of public health, and the advancement of medical knowledge. I will practice my profession conscientiously with dignity, and in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics. I accept as a lifelong obligation the continual improvement of my professional knowledge and competence. Great job. Congrats. Excellent work. You guys can sit down. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day.
All right, you've heard from everyone today, from Whitler and Estill to Tay, so I think you're prepared to go out in the world. During the processional, the faculty and staff led the students into the auditorium. This was in keeping with our responsibility to guide and mentor students over the last 4 years. For the recessional, the marshals, who represent the faculty, will first shake hands to signify that our work is done, and our new graduates will then leave first, which is symbolic of their independence and accountability for their own actions. But they will not be alone, as the faculty will follow behind, ready to support and advise when necessary. Again, congratulations. Welcome to the veterinary profession. Our ceremony is concluded, but the celebration continues at a reception in the lobby and patio after the recessional. You're all invited, and thank you all for celebrating this important day with us.